Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis, and welcome to another week of Living the Wiccan Life. This week, I bring you my report from the 14th Annual Fellowship of Isis Goddess Festival, held in Chicago on the 15th of September, 2 weeks ago. I was very pleased to be able to attend and enjoyed myself immensely, as I always do, and I brought back several very interesting interviews. Our first interview is with the great tarot maven Janet Berres, the founding head of the International Tarot Society. I think you will find Janet fascinating, as I always do.
My name is Janet Berres. I'm author of Tarot Kit for Beginners, published by Llewellyn. I'm past president and founding mother of the International Tarot Society that went on from 1997 to 2003. And I'm an astrologer. Right now I'm the Public Relations Director for NCGR, National Council of Geocosmic Research. And I'm a pagan. I've been a pagan all my life.
And we're here today at the Fellowship of Isis conference.
Right.
And you've come to Fellowship of Isis conferences
right.
for many, many years.
On and off, right. At least 20 years, more, yeah.
What do you like about the Fellowship of Isis?
You know, they're very, Lady Olivia is wonderful. The people are very friendly, and it's a nice community and very non-judgmental. So, yeah, I like all those things.
You mentioned the World Tarot Congress.
Uh-huh.
For those who don't know what the World Tarot Congress was, it was a gigantic tarot congress.
Right, right.
And you put a great deal of work into these.
Right.
And I guess what I want to ask you, what did you learn dealing with all those tarot people?
When I would put on one of my conferences, I would say it was like throwing a wedding and having 50 brides. Like if I had 50 speakers, I had 50 brides. Everybody was a bride. And so I learned, though, how wonderful, which I already knew, the tarot community was. You have to get every detail, last detail, which my Saturn in Virgo was up to the task, but it was daunting. And how very nice people were, you know, so.
But once you actually got to the convention, you couldn't tell all the work that went into it unless you knew.
Right, years.
And that's the mark of a really well-run event.
Thank you, yes.
You have, your book has just been reissued, I believe, as part of a package.
Correct. That book was years in the making. It was revised and self-printed twice, and Llewellyn bought it, and then I revised it again. So but I guess it's selling very well, so that's cool.
And what is the title?
Tarot Kit for Beginners, and I have the book in there. And the book is called Your Guide to the Tarot. So.
And you have one of the more extensive tarot collections in the world.
I do, that's true. Almost 1,400 different decks, absolutely. Although some of them are divination decks as opposed to tarot decks, but you know, I can't keep up with it. You know, Lo Scarabeo in Italy, those people came to our conference, the last one. They come out with so many decks. I mean, I haven't caught up with the Elves deck and the Magician's deck, and they've just come out with like 10 new decks. And who can keep up with it all? And who can afford it all? But I do.
I remember meeting Eden Gray at your conference.
Yes.
And she made a comment about not being completely at ease with the proliferation of different kinds of tarot.
Right, with the psychological. Eden always believed in predictive, right.
And that motivates me to ask you, after your many years, despite your youth, your many years as a tarot reader,
right.
What do you
Don't
think
let this young
most?
skin deceive you, yes. Well, I think first of all, tarot's become really popular, which I think people used to have to hide if they did tarot. Really, it was considered not so good. So the whole PR thing has changed, which is great. And but I remember Eden Gray being on a panel, and Brian Williams, may he rest in peace, was there. And Brian had done a lot of decks. One of his was the Angel Tarot. And Eden Gray, standing there, who was like 97 years old at the time, she said, I don't know why people make up all these other decks like an angel deck. She like insulted Brian without, but he didn't care. Nobody cared because it was Eden Gray,
Yeah.
But she said, but so, and plus the proliferation, everybody has a deck. People are self-publishing. People are, I mean, there are a million decks out there for anything, which is good and, not so good, I guess.
Pardon me. Years ago, you had a bookstore.
Yes.
Light of the Moon bookstore.
Right.
Which, of course, is gone today.
Right.
As are most of the bookstores that were in the Chicago area then.
I can't get over it, yeah.
Do you, what do you see?
When Healing Earth closed its doors, because they had been in business 19 years, right, that was sad. And I think the internet, Amazon.com, people can get it cheaper and free shipping. I have to admit, I shop there myself, sad to say. And so that, and I don't know why, well, with Healing Earth, I think it was too large a space for her. I was her tarot reader, and I told her not to move there. But she didn't listen to me, but that's okay.
Just as you've seen a lot of changes in the tarot community, you've seen a lot of changes in the pagan community.
Right.
Including the fact that there are far fewer real-time bookstores today.
Right.
What do you think are the most significant changes, and what do you think our community most needs?
I would love Ed Hubbard to move back to Chicago and put on another leadership conference. You hear me, Ed?
Well, that's very interesting, because you were this very strong backer of the Chicago Pagan Leadership Conferences.
Right. And they were great, and it really brought everybody together. And so we need somebody. I mean, in Chicago, pagans never get along with each other. Pagans on the south side don't get along with pagans on the north side. And it's even true in the astrology community. Southsiders, don't come, they'll come north, Northsiders won't go south, but whatever. But yeah, I would like to see, and like Fellowship of Isis is almost the closest thing we have, because I saw people here from all different groups, right? OTO, Circle of Danu or whatever. So, yeah, so we need somebody who would just organize something, and I actually don't have the energy right now myself, but, I may do that in the future, but, yeah.
So out of your illustrious career,
thank you.
What is the most memorable thing to you?
Definitely my tarot conferences, and definitely all of my heroes and heroines, people whose books I bought and loved, Stuart Kaplan from U.S. Games, all those, seeing all those people. And then I love the bookstore too. I have a perfect chart for owning a bookstore, but so yeah, because I love people and all that. So those are my highlights, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The International Tarot Congresses were wonderful events, great fun to attend, and hopefully Lady Janet will one day hold another one. Now, please join us for part 2 of our episode, when we will bring you more interviews from the 14th Annual Fellowship of Isis Goddess Festival.